What it do, guys? Manjoume here, and today we're delving into the first family arc of the Versus System two-player card game. In our last two episodes, we checked out the Fantastic Battles and the Herald, so today we're checking out Volume 3, Issue 6, The Frightful. On the front of the box, we see the same space background, whereas the first one was like a blue, second one was like a silver, this one's more of a purple. See, The Frightful, and Galactus as well as Kang on the front. On the side is a continuation of the front with no writing on the side. Big disappointment for me, but I guess it is what it is. On the top, we have the Frightful. Once again, the color scheme matches the last one. The back contents 55 cards and a rule sheet. The last issue of the first family story arc, The Frightful, includes a dastardly list of evildoers that have crossed paths with the Fantastic Four. Such a list would not be complete without the insatiable devourer of worlds and master of heralds, Galactus. Add the time-traveling tyrant King the Conqueror to the mix, and you can now complete an epic deck of destruction. So at the very least, the main character lineup is going to be crazy. Check that in a bit. First up, we have Annihilus, part of the Frightful. 6 health, flight range, 3/4 stat line, Lord of the Negative Zone. You can include up to 2 negative zone locations in your deck. Whereas I think normally they would be inventions that would start in an invention pile, you can just put in your deck now. The Living Death That Walks, level up 10 times. When Annihilus attacks, strikes, stuns, wounds, or KOs a defending enemy character in combat, he gains that many XP. When he levels up, shuffle this card into its owner's deck. His level 2. He now has a 7/7 stat line. Launch Invasion Force, build green. Search your hand and deck for an Annihilation Wave supporting character and put it onto your side. Weird wording to say search your hand, but I get it. You're just looking and trying to find one in either or. Continuous Rebirth. If Annihilus would be KO'd by a wound, you reveal his level 1 card from your hand, and if you do, he is not wounded instead, and shuffle his level 1 back into his deck. So once he gets to level 2, as long as this is in your hand, he's basically immortal. Galactus. 8 health, flight range, 5/5 stat line, the hunger that does not cease. At the start of your build phase, you may discard a location. If you don't, wound Galactus. Cosmic Hunger, level up 6 times. At the end of your turn, Galactus gains an XP for each location in your KO pile. So one does feed into the other, but if you don't do that, he starts getting hurt and you may die. His level 2 now has a 7/7 stat line. He still has the hunger that does not cease, but gains Pillager of Planets. Level up 3 times. When a good Herald of Galactus appears on your side, Galactus gains 1 XP. When an evil Herald of Galactus appears on your side, he gains 2 XP. Now, it doesn't say that you have to do one of each, so you just get it done however you can get it done. It just is kind of perfect if you do one of each. His level 3 now has a 10/10 stat line. Summon Herald, so he no longer has the hunger that does not cease. Build blue-red. If you don't have a Herald of Galactus on your side, search your deck for one, reveal it, and put it onto your side. Devourer of Worlds, main space, or I guess main alien. KO a location and heal a wound from Galactus. Now it doesn't say a location on your side, so he can eat one of your opponent's locations and then heal himself, which he may need to if he had that hunger from before. Kang. 5 health, flight range, 2/5 stat line, immeasurable identities. This game, Kang supporting characters you own are main characters instead. It is the conquerors who change the world. Level up 5 times. When an enemy character gets wounded, Kang gains an XP. His level 2, he now has a 3/10 stat line. Light of the Centuries. Draw blue, yellow, red. Shuffle each resource into its owner's deck, then choose a number from 1 to 10. Each player puts that many cards from the top of their deck face down into their resource row. If there's any locations, they may play them face up instead. You can only use this power once per game. Next we have Red Shift, who is a Fantastic Four, thus a good character. 6 cost, 2 health, flight, 7/7 stat line, Herald of Galactus, and Cosmic Combat Master. Enemy players can't play plot twists during combat. Next up we have Kang's supporting character version. 0 cost, 2 health, flight range, asterisk, the Tomorrow War. At the start of the game, before players draw their opening hands, secretly choose a future date. Kang can't appear until it is that date, and I do believe that date is equal to how many resources is on your side. So you would say a number 3. Once you have 3 resources, it is now that future date, and he can now be played. Time will tell. Kang has base attack and defense equal to that future date. So if you picked 3, he would be a 3/3. Swarm, so any number of him. Annihilation Waves, 3 cost, 1 health, flight, 5/3 stat line, swarm, and an unending wave of ships and bugs. At the start of your build phase, you may put an Annihilation Wave supporting character from your KO pile onto your side. So once you start getting them, they can start bringing each other back, and since they have swarm, they can both exist at the same time. Fallen 1, 4 cost, 2 health, flight range, 4/4 stat line, Herald of Galactus, Herald of Thanos. You pay 1 less to recruit Thanos supporting characters. And Fallen Herald. When the Fallen 1 strikes Galactus or Thanos, stun that character, which is pretty darn good. Very interesting to see so many, that he's a herald of so many. That's an interesting character and looks like a dark version of Silver Surfer. Clearly, the most powerful character in the game is Airwalker with the horn. 5 cost, 2 health, flight, 6/6 stat line, Herald of Galactus, and the Horn of Galactus. Build red. You pay 1 less to recruit Galactus supporting characters this turn. Airwalker may use this power any number of times each turn. Hyperstorm. 5 cost, 1 health, flight range, 5/5 stat line, and endless supply of energy. Galactus loses the hunger that does not cease. Meaning, if you don't discard a location, he doesn't hurt himself. The Supreme Power. Hyperstorm has all the printed superpowers of all face-up characters. That stuff can add up. Stardust. 6 cost, 1 health, flight, 9/6 stat line, Herald of Galactus, and Ethereal. Reaction Blue. When Stardust gets KO'd by an enemy character, remove her from the game. At the start of your next build phase, put her onto your side. Wouldn't have necessarily guessed a female, but still a really cool character. The Maker. 6 cost, 2 health, 6/8 stat line, multiversal omnipresence. You may include up to 5 different equipment without invention in your invention pile. Only the Maker may invent them. Stroke of Genius. At the start of your turn, draw a card, or the Maker creates an invention, some of which only he can create. Turax, who definitely looks like Darkseid. 7 cost, 2 health, flight, 7/7 stat line, Herald of Galactus, and Cosmic Geokinesis. Main green. Move all +1/1 counters on all sides onto a character onto your side, then double the +1/1 counters on them. Morg the Executioner. 8 cost, 2 health, flight range, 10/8 stat line. The Herald Ordeal. When Morg appears, you may stun an enemy Herald of Galactus supporting character. Herald of Galactus and Executioner. Combat red. If Morg is melee attacking an exhausted defender, he is ferocious and strikes with triple his attack this combat, which would be like 30. Almost impossible to not be killed by that. Speaking of 30, we have Galactus's supporting character version, which has 12 costs, 7 health, flight range, 30/30 stat line, Scour the Universe. Galactus can only appear when he is recruited and only while there is a Herald of Galactus on your side. Cosmic Entity. He is unaffected by Burn, Freeze, Immobile, and Infect. The Monster of All Worlds. At the start of your main phase, you may name a location. If you do, remove each card with that name everywhere from the game. The Power Cosmic. Plot twist. During either player's turn combat, if you have a supporting character on your side in the combat with cost of 8 or more, stun an enemy supporting character in the combat with a cost of 7 or less. If you have a main character on your side in the combat with level 3 or more, stun an enemy main character in the combat with level 2 or less. Very powerful stuff. First family arc. The first issue in this 3-issue arc introduced the Fantastic Four and their frightful enemies. Last issue featured the Silver Surfer and many of the Heralds of Galactus. This issue introduces the Planet Devourer himself, as well as other classic Fantastic Four villains. Then we have the Frightful team logo. Annihilus. Lord of the Negative Zone allows you to include up to 2 Negative Zone locations in your deck. If Mr. Fantastic is in your deck, your invention pile will also include its usual 2 Negative Zones. The Living Death That Walks grants 1 XP for each of the listed actions, so if Annihilus attacks, strikes, and stuns a defending character but somehow doesn't wound or KO it, he will gain 3 XP. When Annihilus levels up, you'll shuffle his level 1 card into your deck. While it's in your hand, you may reveal it for his continuous rebirth power. You can also discard it to level up Annihilus, put the discarded card into your level up zone, which is where his level 2 card started the game. Kang. Immeasurable Identities makes all Kang supporting characters you own also main characters. This effect lasts the whole game, even if your starting Kang main character gets KO'd. And remember, as long as you have any main characters on your side, you don't lose the game, meaning you'll have a bunch of Kangs. It's like the whole team, they're all main characters. You're good. The Fallen One. When the Fallen One strikes Galactus or Thanos, Fallen Herald will stun them. However, if Fallen One's strike already had enough attack to stun, Fallen Herald won't do anything. In other words, Fallen Herald won't cause Galactus or Thanos to become stunned twice in a combat, so just the one time. The Maker. If the Maker is in your deck, you get to have a usual invention pile plus add up to 5 equipment to it. They must be different cards, same name, but different game text is fine, and can't already have the keyword invention. You can also include copies of those equipment in your deck if you like, and copies in your invention pile don't count against them. For example, you can have one-of-a-kind equipment in your deck and the same one in your invention pile. Note, while the maker can invent those equipment, you can still only play them if you meet their play requirements. For example, if the maker invents a Hydra Cosmic Cube, you get to put it in your hand, but you can't play it unless you have a Hydra character on your side. Terrax. If Cosmic Geokinesis moves all +1/1 counters onto a character that has any -1/1 counters, first double the +1/1 counters and remove the required amount due to the -1/1 counters. Galactus, the monster of all worlds, removes locations from everywhere. To do this, each player reveals their hand deck resources, including face down ones, KO pile, and out of play areas, and any out of game piles. All locations with the name are removed from the game. Then each player shuffles their deck. King. If any number of kings are in your deck, the Tomorrow War lets you pick a single future date before players draw their opening hands during the setup. A future date is represented by a whole number from 1 to 10. It counts as being that date when you have exactly that many resources. So if you pick 7 as your future date, King can only appear while you have exactly 7 resources. On the bright side, he's free. Note that if you forget to pick a future date at the beginning of the game will act as though you picked 10. Time will tell sets King's base attack and defense equal to the future date you selected. It doesn't matter how many resources you currently have. Time will tell locks in when you select a future date before the game starts. Select keywords. The following keyword is featured on a card without description, Ferocious. While in melee combat, this character strikes before characters without Ferocious. Then we have a checklist and the credits. Well, guys, that's it for the Versus System 2-player card game First Family Story Arc of Volume 3, Issue 6, The Frightful. Who's your favorite Fantastic Four villain seen here? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date on my videos and live streams both YouTube and Twitch, check out links in the description below, like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.